like new kicks and new clothes. I like new whips and new hoes. Feel like summer, but the flow too cold. I'll be stunting everywhere you know.
Here, what's
Yo,
happening? Wabi After Dark, Season 2, Episode 2. What's happening, y'all? Hope y'all tuned in. Sorry, the first episode was a little bit, how do I put it? We had some technical difficulties, so I'm just going to combine the first episode with this one, and y'all can have more content to watch from us. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoy. But, what's good, Jay? How you been?
I'm been chilling. Just got back from Caribou last night. It was fun. If y'all missed out, go next year's. It was a big event by ASU.
For the audience, what's Caribou?
So it's this big event hosted by one of the MCC cabinets, Multicultural, ASU, African Student Union. And it's basically where you learn about African culture, African music, African food. You see all the African flags, dance a little bit, and it's just a really good time. It's a big community event. You do have to dress formal though, so it's like a formal event, but it's like you're learning about their culture, and it's beautiful.
That's what's up, though. I mean, that they got those kind of like events and whatnot. It's always good to have like diversity. I meant to go to what was it? Baila, yeah. But I didn't
really
have
good.
the wear. You know what I'm saying? I had the cowboy boots and nothing like that. So I was like, you know what? Let me just fall back. But maybe next year I'll go to one of them Jones. But how's everything been going post fall break? Like, I know classes have been a blur, yo. Like so much work, and then
Yeah.
I am tired, bro. Like I got a pregnant dog at home. I gotta take care of.
What's the breed?
It's she's a half Chihuahua, half Yorkie, and
Okay.
the father's full Shih Tzu.
Are you gonna sell the pups when she gives birth?
Probably not, but I'm gonna get rid of. I'm honestly probably just give them away. Like I'm keeping one, my sister's keeping one, my brother's keeping one, and then the other two gotta figure out what to do with them. But you know what I mean. If somebody wants to buy them, I mean, sure, why not? You know what I mean. But yeah, it's a pain because it's my first time like having a dog get pregnant. Usually I just have just male dogs, and I never usually have to like worry about that stuff. But like
Yeah.
even like it was funny how they got because like we got her, so like my dog Max, he well he's my sister's dog, but like I love that dog like he's my own. Like I've been raising my nephew for like the last like 5 years. So like I've been around the dog, and me and him we became like best friends, and I always kind of like projected onto him like because I have this like kind of like sadness that I never got to have kids. Like I think I told you, like
Yeah, we
7
talked about it.
miscarriages, one
Yeah.
abortion, it just never happened, right? Like
Mhm.
almost like God was like no, so I accepted it. And so for me, I always wanted him to experience that. Like I always felt like that was an integral part of life. You should get to see what it's like to look at your child and give him love. You know what I mean? Like and so after like a year or two, I convinced my sister to get a dog for him. And my sister, she always jokes that like Max was gay because he takes really well to like me. He takes really well to her boyfriend. So like she would joke and be like, "Oh nah, he don't want nothing to do with that." But once we got the female dog, like he got interested, and like he'd be sniffing around. But back then she was too young, so like we had to like literally like at times keep him away from her, like put him in
Another room or something.
yeah, and he would start crying, bro, like real tears, bro, like and like he would be sad, he would be whining all day, like trying to get next to her, like and like it was I remember that was a pain. And then so like maybe like a year or two passed by, and now Nezzy's a little bit bigger, and you know now she seeks him out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now he sometimes don't really be interested. So like we just assumed it was never going to happen between them two. And about 2 months ago or a month ago, back in September. Yeah, my um, sister's boyfriend's sister came into town or whatever, and when she came into town, for what I don't know what happened, it was the stars were in alignment that she was in heat or something, and he was with it, and all of a sudden we looked and they was stuck together. Like, and that shit is the funniest shit. Cause like, I don't know, I could be an asshole, right? Like in the sense that like unless I really, really like the girl that I just got done sleeping with, like I'm not sticking around. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a cuddler. Like that's just it's not my bag. Like unless I really, really like the person that I'm sleeping with. You know what I mean? Like which ideally you should, but that's not how it always works out. But at least in my case, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's consequences of living in the Tinder era. Plenty of fish. You just swipe left, swipe right, and sometimes you don't like you vibe with some people, but then like you see who they really are, or you know what I mean? Like sometimes like it doesn't matter, but pretty much like we just assumed like that was never gonna happen between them, and then like to see them stuck like that, it was hilarious because I couldn't imagine like being stuck like that. Like imagine like if every time you busted a nut, you couldn't leave the girl for like 30 minutes and you was just stuck there.
Oh, like he was literally stuck?
Yes, like
Oh, I thought you literally?
yeah.
Wow.
Like I don't know how it's dog nature, but like whenever they do that, the dude like swells up to the point that he can't get out. So they're just like stuck together and they're trying to pull themselves off and they can't get off. So for like literally like a half hour, they're just like trying to get off each other. And like it was, I want to say like maybe a couple times. I'm about to put this on mute because I don't like, you know what I mean now. But a couple times they ended up doing it. So like I wasn't sure if she was gonna be pregnant, but then like a couple weeks later she started getting a little bit bigger, nipple started swelling, and like yeah, she pregnant. We actually got we gave her a ultrasound the other day at the vet, and she got 5 puppies in there. So yeah, I'm just dealing with that at home and getting everything ready for when the puppies arrive. Cause now apparently like she's not producing milk, so we might have to like hand feed the puppies every 2 to 4 hours. Which I don't know how we're gonna do that because I'm at school during the day, my sister's at work, and then so I don't know, but I got that to figure out. But yeah, like it's been busy as hell these last couple weeks. Like I don't know, between all the different projects, also I told you I was working on that the interview with the immigrant project. Yeah. That was fucking dope. Like just the whole process, knowing that I did all that, myself. You know what I mean? Like the only thing I regret was probably like I wish we would have done the audio in a room, maybe like this one where it's a little bit more quiet versus the interrogation, because like the AC was kind of like kicking in the background, so I had to like
edit that out.
Yeah, well, I had to splice audio, so I had to take the audio from the boom mic from the camera and combine it with the audio from the boomstick. So it was just a lot of work, and even then you still kind of hear it. So that's where I'm at right now, is trying to figure out how to like work the sound by post-production and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty much done with the frames and everything like that. I just wanted to make it look as dope as possible, sound dope before I put it out, because this is like my first project like that. I mean, outside of podcasting, outside of doing my stuff for YBTV, you know what I mean, like this is like the first real work I'm putting out, and it's gonna be like, even though it's an interview, it's kind of gonna be like a short film, you know what I mean, like, yeah. So I wanted to like, even yesterday I was watching what was it, Casino Royale at my brother's crib. I had to babysit my nephews, and while I was over there, I watched the Casino Royale, and like how they did the intro, like was so dope that I was just like, I gotta have an intro like that. I can't just start the show. You know what I mean? Like no, there has to be like a little lead up, and then the credits, and then into the shit. Like it has to be like a movie. You know what I mean? Like so, I'm trying to figure out how to best do that, and because then it's like you have to generate I'm using the generative AI, so that's you have to pay for that. Like so far, I already dropped like $250 on this interview. It's just a 7-minute interview. You know what I mean? Like it was originally 28 minutes. I cut it down to 10, and then I cut it down to 7. So it's just it's been a lot of work, but very rewarding. Just even the initial feedback that I've gotten so far from because I sent it out to some of my teachers, our BV&E teacher. I sent it to Professor intro to film teacher. I sent it to Professor just to kind of get an idea of how it made people feel, and I'm proud of it, and I'm also looking forward to see what I'm gonna do next semester, and you know what I mean. I want it to be in a constant evolution, and just keep dropping dope shit until I find maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to find my purpose here at Messiah, and what brought you here to Messiah?
Dang, I haven't. Oof, let me think about that. Honestly, I would probably say outside of the scholarship money, just how much they really wanted me, because I was gonna go to another school and play football. I mean, that wasn't the main thing, but it was something I was interested in, and I committed to that school. And then Messiah calls me on the way back. They're like, "Hey, did you choose a school?" And I'm looking at my mom. I'm like, I didn't even know I applied to Messiah. And she was like, "Oh yeah, you did." Da, da, da. And we told them the school I had applied to. It was Westminster. It's a little up 5 hours away, next to Ohio. It was like, "Oh, congratulations!" And basically, they're just trying to talk to me into getting a tour and looking at their program. And it was kind of saying that their program was better than Westminster's. They was low key downplaying it. So I told them, yeah, throwing shade just a little bit, but I didn't mind.
Yeah.
So I told my mom that I'll think about it, but deep down I'm like, no, I don't want to go there. I like this school. They have good food. They have a football team, so I could play for the team or just watch football if I choose not to play. And they have a decent program, and then they have a station in Pittsburgh. What else do I need?
Yeah.
So then after thinking about it, my mom was like, I should give them a chance because they still reached out and they still want me to go. So we drove here. It was during spring break, and walked around, and obviously the campus was bigger, but they didn't have a football team. And I was like, bruh, where's the football team? And they was like, sorry, we don't have a football team. I was like, I need to watch football games. So after that, I was like, yeah, that's a no-breaker. I'm not coming here. Until I saw their broadcast program, and they showed me YB TV studio. And that did catch my interest, and they talked about all the people who graduated and the opportunities they got. So they just said, think about it. And then afterward, we had a whole family meeting just to decide what school I was going to go to. So we talked numbers, and they really sat me down. They was like, what's more important to you? Playing or watching football for a few years that you're probably not going to do nothing when you graduate, or going to a school that's showing interest in you, that shows they really want you, that got you in touch with people that are trying to bring you to the school, versus another school that's like, yeah, you can come if you want to or not.
Yeah.
So I really had to weigh it out. But then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to be in PA, so I need to know what the color ratio is, because I'm not about to go to a school I'm the only black person.
Keep talking. Don't check the camera.
Okay. So I did that, and the school, Westminster, they couldn't get me in touch with no one from their, they kind of had a multicultural type thing, but they couldn't get me in touch with no one from their black community. And I immediately thought that was a red flag. I was like, y'all have this community, and y'all can't get me in touch with no one, no black person, no Hispanic, y'all can't get me in touch with no one of color. So I thought that was a red flag.
Yeah,
and then
for sure.
Yeah, I'm like,
on some get out shit.
Literally. But then Messiah, though, they got me in touch with 10 different people. They got me in touch with Orlando. Shout out Orlando. He's the reason why I'm here. Orlando, and a whole bunch of other people. And I just really felt the love. I really felt like they were going to take care of me.
Yeah.
So that's how I got here. Now, granted, freshman year was rough. I did experience a lot of stuff, a lot of racial stuff. But do I regret coming to Messiah? Not necessarily, because I also felt like Messiah could help me strengthen my faith. I've never been a bad, I don't know how to use the word bad, but I've never been lost at least officially when it came to my faith, but I've always wanted to become closer to God and have a even stronger faith than I already do have. Because, I be messing up and doing things I shouldn't be doing, but, hoping my journey here can help me strengthen that.
No, for sure. That's dope. For sure better than me. Like, me, so it was all about the money. Like,
I mean, of course.
like, well, no, like, it was, so for example, I was at a really rough patch in my life. Like, before I got to PA, I was at Florida, and I was, like, down in the dumps, bro. Like, my time at Florida, like, for example, I was working at a fast food restaurant that I can't name due to the fact that I had to end up suing them because religious discrimination. Essentially, they didn't want to give me Saturdays off for the Sabbath. They didn't respect my Sabbath, and that situation blew up. And then it was like some really dark times for a bit because when I sued them, I didn't have a lawyer. I couldn't get one. Nobody wanted to take the case. They were like, "You're gonna lose." Like all the odds were against me. The guy had a lawyer, well, not even just one, because I was suing my boss and the company. So like he had his own lawyer, and then they had a whole team of lawyers that were handling the case and whatnot. So like me, I reached out to one of my Navy buddies, and I was like, "Bro, like I'm lost. I don't think I'm gonna be able to." Like, he's like, "Yo, I've sued mad people before. Like, I'll help you out. Like, I got you. Just give me like a little cut, and bet." So I was like, I had no one else. So I was like, you know what? I'll give you that, that percentage, right? So then we start issuing emails to the company, to the lawyers, like, "Yo, this is what we're doing, blah 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 blah. This is what y'all went wrong. We want this much." And it was like, the first time my old boss hit me up, he was like, "I'll give you like $1,000. I was like, "Yo, for all the shit you did?" "Nah, bro, like, you gonna have to pay up." And he was like, "Nah, I'm not doing anything more than that." So that the negotiations broke down for a while. Lawsuit proceeds, we keep going, blah, blah, blah. Then, essentially, like, we get to a point where by then I started working at Applebee's. Like, then I got screwed, right? Because I left that job to go to Applebee's because they told me I was going to make more money, I was going to get a pay raise, and I was going to, be in a better environment or whatever. That was a lie. I get to Applebee's, like, they overworked the crap out of me. Then I'm just, like, still dealing with this legal situation in the background. So, it got to a point where, like, I mean, now compounding that with all the shit that I've already gone through, like, personally, where I think I told you about about the last person I fell in love with.
Yeah.
She worked at that restaurant.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, like, so, bro, like, that pushed me to, like, suicide, damn near. Like, that whole, like, heartbreak. Like, because for me, like, I was already, like, I didn't want to love anyone again. I had felt like I had given all my love already to the world. Like, I had already been through these relationships. I've been married before, divorced, all these things. I don't want to have to give up any more of me to anyone. And then I met her. And then my world completely spun in a tailspin. And it was like kind of similar to like this situation, the current situation, but and that's the irony is I always do this to myself. But like it was like almost like a little bit of hope, like life ain't that bad. There's still beauty in it. You're gonna get through this. And then when that kind of crumbled, it was like there was nothing left. It was just despair. Like I'm at this dead end job that I can't stand, where I'm getting discriminated at. I don't want to live anymore. Like I'm not making enough money to get out of my situation. I'm just in a constant loop, and it was just like God give me COVID already and get me the fuck out. Like, bro, I swear, when I got COVID, I was like, Lord, thank you. Like, it's time. Like, because back then, the people were dying from that. So it was just like, you know what? It ain't even that bad. Like, so then when I got to the point where now I'm at Applebee's and I was going through all this stuff, trying to recover and bounce back and never bouncing back, like, it was so dark, so like hopeless. Then their legal team, they tried to have the case dismissed, and they set up this whole argument why it should get dismissed. My legal advisor at the time, a homie, he was like, "Bro, you're done. Like, give up." Like, the way they articulated this, there's no way you're gonna be able to counteract that. You're screwed, and that's gonna be the end of the case. And I was like, alright, bro, like, I'm crying. I'm just like, the world is collapsing on me. If I lose this case, I gotta pay their legal fees. You know what I'm saying? I am more fucked up than I've ever been in my life at that moment. So if this don't work out, I am financially, like, gone. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm sitting there crying, bro, and I'm just like, alright, bet, I'm just gonna give up and just drop the case. I did a little bit of research, blah, blah. I ended up finding randomly their procedures and policies kind of handbook, and in it, it said some certain wording that I used to then send an email and kind of like bluff them and be like, yo, like, I'm gonna send this to the judge because according to page blah 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 blah, it says this is how y'all supposed to handle this situation. And that Monday, because they had issued the thing on Friday, Monday comes around, they reached out to me, they were like, how much? 5,000 to settle. And I was like, no. 20,000. No. 12. We'll give you 10. I was like, bet. Close it up.
Wait, you said no to 20,000, but you said yes to
No. They said no to 20.
Okay.
So like, I was trying to get to 20. They were like, nah. They're like, we'll give you. So I was like, I bet, like 12. Nah. 10. All right.
Okay.
Damn. So we wrapped that up. But then, like, so mind you, right? Now, I just told you, I was suicidal, going through this heartbreak, end up, you know, thinking I'm about to lose this case. I win, right? Nigga. I lost my shit. Because now, like, I'm thinking, I am the anointed one. Lord had my back.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody gonna stop me.
So
like,
pride and ego was at an all-time high.
hell yes, nigga. Like, it was like, I was trying to part the seas, bro. Like, I was on one. You know what I mean? Like, and then now I got this bread, so now I'm like, yo.
That's where things went downhill.
Yes, because now I didn't have all this money. I was struggling for so long to now have. It's just $10,000.
But that's a lot to you, though.
But that was a lot in that moment. So now I'm like, y'all trying to go out to eat? What? Y'all trying, Mom, let's go do this. Started throwing money everywhere. Started kicking it with this one. In fact, I probably shouldn't say this. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. But I did something that I shouldn't have done with, like, literally as soon as I got the money. Then I started kicking it with this chick. And it was just like, before I knew it,
The money was gone.
the money was gone. And it's time to pay rent. And I'm just like, ah. Then me and my sister get into this huge fight. And, like, she's like, yo, like, I need you just to do anything. Because back then I was trying to do work for insurance. And I was trying to, like, sell insurance to people and it wasn't panning out. So then I ended up going to Chipotle. Working for $13 an hour, bro. My rent was $3,000. You know what I'm saying? My electric bill was $500 a month. The food was, so like, even if I split that in half, like, that's still ridiculous. You know what I mean? So I didn't even have enough after my paychecks from Chipotle to even pay everything off. So I still owed my sister money. Blah 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 blah. Then we ended up moving to PA to try to start over and just get out of that hole we were in. And right after that, I get a call from, and they were like, "Yo, PTSD and my major depression and all this other stuff from stuff that had happened when I was in service or whatever." And like literally, maybe a month after I get here, they no, but before that, right? I'm trying to figure out what to do. So they tell me, "Yo, we got a program where you can go to school, go back to college for a little bit, and essentially we'll pay you to go to school. You know what I mean? Like, so you won't have to go to work." So I'm like, thank God. I've been slaving at these fast food restaurants at Applebee's, Chipotle for like the last 3 years. An opportunity came up for me just to go to school. Now, I wasn't making that much money at the time, so it was like, would this really work out? And right after, I was before I did my interview to get the ball rolling to come to Messiah, I get a call from the, "Yo, we granted your PTSD," because they denied me since like 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it was something that was like something that was never supposed to happen, and that works out. And I'm just like, now all of a sudden I got like a bunch of bread, and now I paid my sister back the money I owed her. I was able to, get myself going, set things up. You know what I mean? Like, fucking. And then, sure enough, the opportunity to go to Messiah came around. But I didn't want to come to Messiah because it was a Christian school, and like I know that like I'm not right with God. Like of course, you know what I mean. Like I at one point I felt like the anointed one, but you know what I mean. Like I've done enough now that like I know in my heart of hearts that like I am undeserving of the things that God gives me, and like so for me it was like I didn't want to come, but this was the only school that offered the journalism program, like in this area. So if not, I had to go to Penn State main campus.
Mm.
And I was like, I don't want to leave my nephews behind. So I was just like, nah, I'll go to Messiah. And I ended up coming here, and I did not know what it was gonna be like. I've always winged it. I don't know like what I'm doing. Like I started the podcast because I gave up on I had given up on podcasting for a while. I'm tired of working my regular job to then come home and then have to prepare for that. You know what I mean? Like it's just like I get it, like, but it's like at least to me it felt like, yo, we're only doing this like once every 2 weeks, once a week type job. So it's like it's not like that much time. You know what I mean? To sacrifice for your dreams, but I can't expect everyone to have that same vision. You know what I mean? Like, and because for me, like I've been through that darkness, not knowing, where, not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and still having to just keep going on through. But not everyone's gonna have that same outlook on it. Some people got kids, people got different situations, so it's like I can't knock them for that. But it's been a journey. You know what I mean? Like, so that's why I was curious to know how you ended up here. Is there anything like specific that you want to get done during your time here? Like I know, like for example, you had told me you had never done podcasting before, so like that was something that we had decided, hey, let's go pod together to kind of get your feet wet in that. Like, is there any other things that you were like really like thinking like, yo, this is what I want to do, and kind of.
I'm honestly just trying to dip my toes in like different waters. That kind of sounds weird, but yeah, only because I wasn't sure I wanted to even go to college at first. Like after high school, I thought I was gonna go to community college, and that would be that. Yeah. Because I didn't want to go to a 4-year university and not know what I wanted to do and get distracted with college life, because you know how college is. Because I didn't know what I wanted to do at the time, so like I started choosing, like going between major. Like I thought I was gonna do psychology at one point because I wanted to be a therapist. Until I saw the classes and I had to get a doctorate degree, so I was like, no. Then I thought I was going to be a sound engineer, like be a producer. But I found out you had to try out for music and like learn an instrument, and I hadn't done piano in years, so it's like I'm not doing that. So I just kept bouncing from major to major to major, and then I saw sports journalism, and I was like, okay, I know I have to write papers. I hate writing papers, but I like my mom told me, she said, whatever I choose, you're gonna have to do something.
ChatGPT.
But I just like I know I yap a lot, and I'm very heated when it comes to sports. So why not do that? So like now that I'm here, I'm just trying to do a little bit of everything. Like I started broadcasting. I told you, like at the soccer games, at the basketball games. I'm potting with you. So I don't know. I'm just trying to take opportunities that come my way, and obviously I can't take every opportunity. And there's some opportunities that I missed that I regret missing, but you know that's life. It is what it is. I just don't want to leave Messiah or just leave school in general, graduating, and then it's just like, okay, what now? Like I at least want something after. And I've even thought about joining the Air Force after I left. I really thought about it, and I talked to some more people about it and pray about it more to make sure that's something I really want to do, because I know that's a big step, and I know that takes a lot out of you. And like you said, like you got PTSD from it. I may get some type of PTSD or trauma. So I'm still figuring my life out, for real.
With the Air Force, you'll live a comfortable life, but there's sacrifices that come with it. You know what I mean? Like family. You're not gonna have like that family time that maybe you may want if you have one. But if you're like, if it's just like you're on some single shit, like I'm trying to explore the world and see what's out there, like I think it'd be good. And also because it's the Air Force, like way more comfortable than being in the Army. Like trust me, like when I was in the Middle East, we were staying at hotels. The Army niggas was in the desert in tents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like 135-degree heat.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't. No. Like if they're that, send me back. Like I'd have gotten kicked out some way. I'm surprised I didn't. But
So you wouldn't recommend it for like someone who's in a relationship?
Nah, because I mean honestly, like you're gonna see so much, and you're gonna like be exposed to like so many women. Like for example, like me when I was in the Navy, I had told myself I'm not gonna get married until I'm out the Navy, because I was around dudes that like were cheating on their wives perpetually. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like, and it'd be like sometimes it was a deployment thing, sometimes it was just they just wanted to cheat on their girl thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me it was like I don't want to be like these dudes. Like if I got a girl back home and a wife, like that's not my
yeah, that's not how you go.
Yeah, it's not my bag. You know what I'm saying? Like so when I met my ex-wife, like it was kind of like a whirlwind. Like I wasn't because I wasn't expecting that. Like honestly, like yeah, I don't know if a girl ever did this to you, right? But for example, like when me and her were talking, like in the beginning stages or whatever, she was like, "Oh, we're not gonna do nothing until like you my man type jump." You know what I'm saying? Like, so me, I take that as a challenge. Like,
oh, okay.
like, alright, we'll see. So, you know what I'm saying? Like our first date, we kissing and it's getting a little warm, but like she's like, you know what I'm saying, not until you my man type jump. Bad. Day 2 comes around. Now it starts picking up. You know what I'm saying? But she's like, not until like you my man. I like that. Day 3 comes around. It's getting real hot and intense, but like she's like, yo, not until you my man. So now like I'm worked up. I'm trying to like, you know what I mean? So I was like, yo, like just be my girl. Like yo, like you.
Did you actually want her to be your girl? Or you was just doing it?
No, I was trying to be.
Okay, I know.
That was it. Like, but we, she comes down. It's like Christmas Eve or something like that, and it's our first day together as a couple or whatever. And I get the buns. Afterwards, she starts crying, like bawling. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, was it whack? Like, what's going on? She was like, oh, Now that you got what you want, you about to leave me now, and I know it. And I was like, you so damn right. What you mean, nah? I wasn't about to do that. I'm not that kind of guy. Like, so and I felt bad. You know what I mean? Like, so after that, we ended up dating and dating and dating, and then we ended up, moving in together, blah blah blah, get married. But when I went overseas to Bahrain, like it was hard on her because like she wasn't used to that separation, and it was probably still like early in our relationship where it was like 5.5 months of being gone is a long time. And I mean, but for me, it was just part of military life. It was just like, hey, it's what it is. For her, it was like, she couldn't really deal with it. So like once I got out there, she I forgot to put the timer back. She couldn't handle it good. Like it was like she was always jealous, always accusing me of stuff before I even was even trying to be on that type of time. And then it was hard because now, like when I'm out there, you're either working or you're doing like you're at resting or partying, and if you're kicking it with people, there's bound to be some jumps. You know what I'm saying? So like, at first I was like, nah, that's my baby. I promised. You know what I mean? But then like, she got so jealous to the point where like, she would do little shit like, like she was kicking it with this one girl who was her friend that like, she had a husband that was stationed where I was stationed at. And then she was cheating on her husband the whole time. Like, and it's like, but you kicking it with her. So it's like, I know there's probably going to be like a 2-man situation so like you telling me like, you're not doing that. But then at the same time, like you kicking it with this chick who got no respect for her relationship. You posting pictures like the other day, like the one day I seen a picture of her like on some dude's bike, the back of some dude's bike. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, you riding on some random strangers' bikes and shit. Like, you won't be outside. Then cool, but then don't be mad. Like if I'm trying to be outside like that, then like, so it got worse to the point where like she blew up at me, and it was just like, oh well, I'm about to go do my thing, and it's like, all right, cool. Like, let's get a divorce. Go do your thing. And then to me, that's all I needed to hear to run wild because I was already trying not to. So it was like, all right, bet you on that type of time. And it's just like, even after I came back, it was still an issue. So it's like, I wouldn't recommend it for like people that are really trying to settle down and get married, because it's just like you're just exposed to too much, bro. Like even like early on, bro, like when I was in Florida, I was at Mayport, and like the girls there that were stationed on the ship, they would just come kick it with us at the barracks, and just dudes, just to not have to go sleep on the ship. Like, to me that's crazy. But it's like, but every night I saw that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'd be outside in the smoke, out in the smoke pit, partying, drinking, mad girls coming through. Some of them married, and still they'd be like, you know what I mean? So it's like, you see enough of that, you be like, I ain't trying to be in a relationship, because half the time you can't even trust your homies. You know what I'm saying? And you can't trust your chick. I mean, sometimes it depends on the chick. You know what I mean? But like, you really gotta kind of keep a side eye on both, and it's just like, why even be in a relationship if I'm gonna have to do all that? Like, so for me, it was I didn't want to be in a relationship for those reasons. But I mean, obviously, once I got into it, then it was just like, we gotta make the best out of the situation. And I got out right away. I was like, all right, you know what? To make this work, let me just leave then, because at least I thought that's the best option to do. You know what I mean? Like, similarly to how, you know what I mean, I left that other situation. Like, it's just like, sometimes it just feels like removing yourself from it is the better thing to do. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes you just gotta kind of confront it head on. And for me in that situation, there was, no, we're just not meant to be. Like we were never, like we were toxic together, and yeah, it's fun and exciting and all that stuff, but it's also dangerous. Like you could ruin my career. I could end up in jail. Like, oh, for what? For some box? Like, nah. You know, no. So that's why I say that. You know what I mean? But also that's me speaking through my own personal trauma. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of people out in the military that, you know, they're happily married, and a lot of people that, you know what I mean, they do their thing. But it really it's up to you. You know what I mean? How, like, if you're a man of integrity, you know what I'm saying. But you know what I'm saying? You're also a young dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, like, the temptation is going to be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, that. And that was the hardest part for me, is, like, adjusting to life after the Navy. Like, when your life is that exciting all the time and you're doing all these other things, and then you come back to America, like, to just regular ass, you be like, this feels like basic cable now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to get that HBO. You know what I mean? Like, so it's interesting. Like, and for me, it's been an adjustment. You know what I mean? Like, especially ego adjustment. Like, cause I definitely had an ego. Like, you started moving a certain way. You know, you'd be like, you feel like you could have them all. You know what I'm saying? Or you feel like, I don't know, like you see the plays almost like before it happens. So like you start reading everything like a play, and you'd be like, sometimes you miss the play, like, because you misread it, but you kind of see like everything like break down into patterns, and like that's why like I got really like, for me, my dating life picked up after the military. Like, once I got out, I was wrecking, like, because it was like a game to me, like, and a game I already had figured out, and it was just like, oh, bam, 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 bam. Now that I'm like that, I have a guilty conscience, and I'm trying to like redeem myself from that. I feel like now I'm getting punished for all my whole shit when I was in my 20s, like, and that's why I keep going through these situations now that I be going through. It's almost like a way of like karmic retribution. Like, yeah, I let you get this off in your 20s, but now in your 30s you got to pay for that, boy. Like, yeah. And it sucks, you know what I mean? Like, because it sometimes, like, certain things feel so strong that you think like it has to be, like, and it doesn't have to be about a girl. It could be like, let's say podcasting. Like, you could, like, I remember last semester, like, when I started doing this, like, I had this conviction, like, nah, get on them pods and do this, because like you're gonna burst through. And like, when I didn't see that happen right away, it was kind of like a little like a, damn, why did I feel like that? Like, why did I try so hard? Why did, you know what I mean? Like, and, but have you ever had something like that where like you felt really strongly about a situation and then you went for it and you kind of crashed and burned?
Yeah. I've actually felt recently Spanish class. I was practicing over the summer on Duolingo. I'm like, let me get a jump. I got it. I'm going to get an A on the class. First week, I bombed the exam, but like not in a good way. Like, I got a D. I'm like, whoa, okay. I'm going to brush it off. Because I'm not a quitter, so like I can brush things off well sometimes. So then second exam comes in. I do even worse. I'm like, what? So now I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to be doing good though, and it's like the stuff I'm learning is completely separate from Duolingo, so I'm lost in there. So then self-doubt starts kicking in, and I start getting mad. It's like, bro, I wish I could do sign language because that's what I did in high school. I didn't do Spanish. And then I did the third exam, and after that I'm like, okay, I'm dropping Spanish, because it's just like, it's not going the way I wanted to go. I was expecting here, and I'm at the floor essentially. So, but yeah, to answer your question, yeah, that's Spanish. That's probably the most recent thing. So,
yeah. I mean, for me, my most recent, we kind of danced around it a little bit in the last episode. I'm trying to think of a good way to, because I'm still not. I don't know if I'm ready to like say all.
Fully talk about it.
Yeah, like just out of maturity purposes, and because I understand that I have an unhealthy way of dealing with my shit. Like for me, dealing like that's what podcasting is for me. It's like it's a way of me getting my shit off. I can
Yeah, at the
vent.
barbershop.
Yeah, like talking to, but to someone who doesn't do podcasting, if they watch somebody sit there and talk and like while I'm sitting here trying to make it as entertaining as possible, that may not necessarily lead to sensitivity and like being conscious of the other person's feelings about this. So like for example when I was clipping up the episode, the last episode, there was like a moment where I was just like, damn, I'm kind of like an asshole. I mean, a couple moments, especially like we were talking about the organ donor shit.
Oh my gosh.
And
Yeah, as you saw, I was silent. I was like,
and to be honest, right? Charlie kind of put me on the defensive right away. So for me, like at some point, like I didn't get the point across that I wanted to get across,
Yeah.
and instead it was just like, man, fuck them kids.
Yeah.
Like, which the real point that I wanted to get across was, for example, when you have like them organ donor joints on your license, like in particular, black people and people minorities, they get treated a certain way at hospitals where like it's already been documented where people that had these organ donor joints, like the hospital let them die so that they could take their organs. You know what I'm saying? Like they weren't given the proper treatment that they should have gotten, but because they saw them as nothing more than just little parts to take from, yo, let that person die. Let me just go take it. And for me, like it's like maybe if there was like a sixer out there that needed a kidney, and like he came up to me and was like, yo, bro, like if you die, like can I get that kidney? Like I would probably like, you know what, I got you, my boy. But like just a free for all of my body, like no. It's not going. So that's like what I felt, but like I wasn't able to properly convey that at the time. So it's like sometimes that kind of happens, you know what I mean? Like, and that's how I felt about that situation where it was like, you know, the other person doesn't have full context to how I feel. Like they just so like for example. I just asked this chick out, right? Like, you know, like a blanket, like, hey, yo, let's get some coffee together type shit, right? She was like, yo, sorry, I'm not interested. So for me, like, as the person who just got rejected, I could, like, come back and see that person and act like everything's all good and, you know, blah, 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 blah. Or I can, like, keep a distance, like, out of respect, right? Like, my bad if I made you feel away. That wasn't my intention. Like, I know, because for me, it was like, it was kind of inappropriate for me anyways. Like, I'm older than her, right? So, it wasn't something that I wanted to feel. It was something that just happened. And I didn't know how to deal with it. Like, it was, do I just keep ignoring this thing, or do I, you know, act on it and hope that this was something that, like, God put in my path for a reason? Because, like I said, I haven't fallen in love in, like, 5 years since that girl. Now, I've had crushes and stuff like that, but I haven't really felt something that deeply for anyone. You know what I mean? Like, so when that situation kind of presented itself, mind you, like, and this is gonna sound rude, but like, it's not how I mean it. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully, it comes across the right way. But like, I think I told you, like, I didn't like this girl for just specifically her looks. Mm-hmm. Like, it wasn't like, oh, she's so beautiful and I gotta have her kind of thing. It was like all these other things that like I liked about her. Yeah, she's pretty and all those things. Like not to take away from that. She's definitely pretty, but like it was like these other reasons like that kind of like led into that. So it was like if I feel this way, then it can't be wrong, right? Like so then I had that internal kind of struggle of like stay away, but damn, I really like her. Fuck, this is hard. How do I like deal with that with what I'm feeling? You know what I mean? Like, so it was like, as a man, I feel like I couldn't be a coward and just like, you know, like for example, like when fall break happened, it was like, this is the halfway point. Either you're gonna come back and everything is gonna continue as it's been, and you're gonna continue feeling this way, or you're gonna do something about it. And either way, you'll know. So, what do you want to do? Do you want to continue the way things are, even though it's torturing you, and you're about to like go back to doing your old things that you used to do, or do you just go for it and see what happens? And hopefully, you know, that's what God brought to you, you know, presented to you in that way for. And it was like. Like, so then once that happened, then now it's like, well, where do we go from here? Because we're probably gonna still see each other. It's awkward now because now you know I feel something for you, but you don't return it, and it's like, but we kind of work around each other. So like, what do I do? You know what? It's probably better than to just remove myself from that situation rather than make her feel uncomfortable, make her feel awkward. If anything, I can just get on the pod and I could just joke it off and, you know, whatever the fuck. But it wasn't until that day when we went to the equipment room that, like, I kind of felt like an asshole. Like, because it's like, you don't, it's not, you can hope that the other person understands how you feel, but if you're not saying anything and you're both at like an impasse where you're just kind of trying to read each other based off, you know what I mean? So it's like we did that podcast last week, well, 2 weeks ago, where we talked about the situation a little bit, made a couple jokes, and then the very next fucking day I run into her. Well, we run into her.
Yeah, that's what I say. Returning the equipment.
Returning the equipment, and then it was just like. And the thing was, like, I saw her when I was coming out of my car. I just thought that she was going to go do some other shit. So I was like, let me go the other way around the building so that, like, we don't even have to interact with each other. I'll go downstairs and bam, bam, and then we good. And then I go downstairs and then bam, bam, she's there. And it's like, my initial thought was, like, act normal. Everything is okay. You know what I mean? Just don't. But then, like, I looked at her, and then she looked, and then it was just like, it felt so fucking awkward. I was just like, about face? Like, I was like, look, hey, yo, I gotta get the stuff out the car. Let me just. And it's like, afterwards, I was like, I wish I would have been more mature and more, you know, because then, like, I don't want her to feel away. She has the right to, like, of course, to not be into me and blah, 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 blah. And for me not to make a big deal out of it. So, like, that's what I wanted. But, like, how that may have looked may not have looked that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was like, damn, like, I feel bad. And, like, but then it's like, even with the guilty conscience, like, I can't go back. I can't, like, because that'll make it worse maybe. And then it's just like, I don't know, these feelings of doubt. That's why when I had that dream Saturday, I was just like, man, like, nah, this is just a dream. Like, and the thing is, like, I rarely dream ever. Like, but when I do, usually it's like some weird shit. So, like, when I had that dream and I saw all of us together as a group again, I was like, damn, yo, like, maybe this is just like my guilty conscience manifesting itself and saying, like, oh, you missed them and blah 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 blah, and you want to like, but then there's like the other part of me that's like, but why did you dream this? Like, is this God trying to tell you something? So then I went to the barber shop and I, what I'm saying, to get all fresh for the pod. And then, of course, my barber just randomly brings that shit up. He's like, yo, what's up with you and your old girl? Like, what? So now, because I had talked to him about it, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm sitting there talking to him and he's just like, yo, you should go apologize to her. You should reach out and just be like, yo, I'm sorry, blah, 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 and keep moving and y'all just go y'all separate ways. And I'm like, that sounds like a great idea, but I was like, but no, because, like, I don't want it to be weird. I don't want it to, like, feel, so she said what she said, let it be just that. You know what I mean? And he's like, but what if, like, I was like, he's like, what would you need? And I was like, man, I would need God to give me a sign. Like, God has to tell me straight up. He's like, well, what's the dream? And I was like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's a dream. He's like, well, what if God's talking to you right now, like, through me, like, telling you to go do that? And I'm like, well, then I'm going to be like Jonah. Like, I'm not going to listen. And I'm just going to act like I didn't hear that and just keep, because ego, of course. You know what I mean? But there's also, like, that fear of, like, getting hurt. Like, I already got shot down, but it's like, you could still hurt me worse than that. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like that. There's a part of me that because of what happened 5 years ago, that's like, no, protect yourself at all times. Never let your guard down. Never let nobody hurt you like that. Like, and then, like, it will unconsciously just push people away and push myself out of a situation where I could get hurt like that. But I don't know, man. It's hard, yo. Like, have you ever been in love? Or has it always just been, like, simple kind of crushes?
No, I would feel like maybe one time I was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was.
How is that, like, compared to other types of relationship you were in?
I was willing to put up with more and go through a lot of stuff I shouldn't went through. Like, I think back now, the stuff that I put up with, I was like, yo, anyone else, I would have been gone out the door.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, because it was that specific person, I was like, I'll put up with this. You did this, I'm going to still forgive you. Or you acted this way, I'm still forgive you. And it's just like, I did that to the point where...
How did you know that was love versus, like, compared to everyone else?
Well, for one, I feel like I had to figure out what love was, because I used to think love was an emotion, but then, like, I had to talk with, like, my family, because, like, there's, like, they've always told me that love is an emotion, but, like, love is, like, there's times where you don't like a person. I don't want to say hate, but, like, I'll use it for this aspect. You hate a person.
Yeah.
But you'll still go back to them because deep down you love them. Like, marriages, it's not all picture perfect and rainbows, like, but y'all still love each other, so y'all go through the storm together because that's love. Love is not emotion. I can't really describe it best, but it's like an unbreakable thing. Like, even when things are ugly. So, like, now to use how you said, how did I know I was in love in that situation? I'm not gonna get into details of what I went through, but, like, there was a lot of messed up shiz that happened that I should have left. I'm just keep it there.
Well, I guess the reason I bring that up, right? It's not because I'm trying to say that, like,
it's not love.
Yeah, within that situation, right? Like, that's not that. It's more like the precursors. Like, how do you, like, when you're in like, for example, the last time I fell in love, like, 5 years ago, like, with that girl, like, it felt like gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, me and her constantly gravitated to each other. There was always this tension there, and there was like, it's this stupor that you're kind of in. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like this kind of euphoria that like everything is bright or everything is better around this person, and you're just like you just constantly want to be with that person because they make everything just better. You know what I mean? Like, and so for me, like that's
how you felt.
then yeah, like with that person, like like they were like the sun, and they just like shined so bright. It made like all the gray clouds go away, and I was just left in this warmth, and I wanted more of. You know what I mean? Like, and it was such an intense feeling that like when we found like me and her, that girl, we never hooked up. That was the sad part. That was probably the saddest part of the whole fucking story to me. But I vividly remember the first time we kissed. Like, it was like some movie shit. Like, it was like the perfect sunny day in Florida, fucking under a bright blue sky with clouds, and we just, like, I remember the first time I kissed her, I just, like, went for it, and it was just, like, perfect, and she was so reciprocal, and it was like, yo, we need to get this going now. Like, and we would, sometimes she would sneak into my car during lunch breaks, and we would just be kissing, making out in the car, like, and it was so raw that, like, it, nothing else compared to it. Like, I remember I was messing with somebody at the time when I met that girl. Like, the person I was messing with, she didn't want nothing serious. She was messing with a bunch of dudes, so it was just like me and her, we were cool. We were homies, and but we finally got gotten to the point where like we were about to hook up. But when that other girl walked in my life, it was like get the fuck out the way. Like, I want that. Like, and I felt so bad because, like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I guess I shouldn't feel too bad because I ended up hooking up with her 2 years later. And we had a nice little thing for a month. But it was like, the way I disregarded her just for that, like, it was like, damn, I wouldn't want somebody to do me like that. You know what I mean? Like, but like I said, I'm paying for it. So, I don't know, like, that's what I'm trying to figure out, like, for you, like, with that person. Because the way I knew I loved her was similar to you. Like, when, it's like the sacrifice portion of it, like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you love them so much that you're like, fuck my feelings, fuck whatever I got going on. It's all about them, making them happy and taking care of them, protecting them, making sure they're safe, even at my own expense, right? But before you get to that point, do you know it's love? Like, is to love someone just to suffer for them unconditionally, or I don't think so either. I think like there is the other side of it. You know what I mean? Like, but what defines that? And that's what I'm still trying to figure out. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like as people, we just can't fully define love because everybody has their own input or has their own definition of love. So like my definition of love may not be your definition, but it's like that's what love feels like to me, or that's what love is to me, but it may not be what love is to you. So I just feel like just us as people, I don't think we could ever fully define love because it's something that like can't really be understood, if that makes sense. It's just like, yeah, I can't explain it. It's just something.
No, man, I'm right there with you. Like, so my next project is a project called Love, and it's about like trying to define it. And the hard part is you can't really define it. It's not like the words are not enough to convey the strength of it. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, I mean, it's hard because like I like the idea of love, but it's almost so hard to obtain for me that like I think it's better to just let go of the idea. But like when I run into the situations like that, where with that person, um, it's almost like a kickstart, like a reminder, like you could feel something, like you may not because it didn't work out or you don't like yourself or whatever the fuck, but it's almost like a little jab, like don't think that the game's over yet, like you're still in the game, bro, like you could still get got, and I ain't trying to get got. Like that's the the shitty part. Like I think I said last episode, you know, in it, and it's a skewed way of looking at it, I know, and it's because of my toxic relationships that I look at it that way. But it's like someone's getting fucked or you're doing the fucking. Like,
yeah, I hear that a lot actually. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like when you're the one in love, you're usually the one getting fucked, like. Because you're the one you're putting up with all this shit. You're like, I love this person, so I'm gonna take all these things, and it's like, but I don't know. Like I want that like romance kind of love, like where it's just like the laying in bed at like 2 in the morning, cuddled up, fucking talking about like, you know, what matters in life to you. You know what I mean? Like, and because I put myself in situations where that was never a thing, even though, like, I want it more now. You know what I mean? Like for example, the last girl I slept with, there was, she really liked me, but I didn't return those feelings. Because I focused so much on looks before, that was always part of the situation, was like, you're going to have these baddie problems. And if you want a baddie, that's what you got to deal with. Like, as a as a man, if that's what your type is, that's... So, like, for me, it was like, well, how do I switch types? How do I stop being attracted to what I'm normally attracted to and start looking for something better so that I'm not in these situations? Because I'm trying to settle down. I ain't got time to be trying to like fight every other dude or some chick. Like, you know what I mean? So like, that's where I'm trying, the space that I'm trying to get in now. But like, I don't know if it's like, cause Florida's, from being in Florida and not being here, but it's like the people that I meet here are so few and far in between that I actually like, and like, you know what I mean? Like, so like now it's just like, I don't know. It's boring sometimes, like wanting to go out and meet people and wanting to do those things, and like now it's just too many things. Like for example, like I think I told about last week. You know, like if I go to the gym, I'm not trying to holler at no chick at the gym. Like I'm not trying to make her
uncomfortable.
Yeah, uncomfortable, or I'm not trying to embarrass myself. I'm not trying to. I don't go to the clubs no more because I don't drink. But if I did, like, you know how it's like back in the days, like I remember I'd be at the clubs and I'd be drinking, and like you would just be having a good time drinking, meet somebody, and you start dancing and blah 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 blah. Like now, it's like you gotta like at least really think like, damn, like she's not too drunk, right? Like she's.
No, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like it's just it's some, and of course it should be that way in some sense, but it's almost like there's too much overthinking. Like, no, I don't want to talk to her because I don't want to be a creep at the gym. No, I don't. She's too drunk. No, so then things just don't flow for me like they used to. There's too many factors that, because I keep putting all these restrictors in. Like my brother the other day, when me and him had a talk, my little brother's like, he's 5 years younger than me. He was like, bro, you putting too many rules for like how things have to work for you. Like he's like, you gotta stop. He's like, get Tinder, get plenty of fish, swipe left, swipe right, fuck a bunch of girls, and eventually you'll find the one.
Mm.
And I'm like, that does sound simple. It does sound, but like for me, like after going through all that in my 20s of just fucking and fucking and fucking, like it was like I don't want that no more. I don't want 5, 7 girls on my phone. I'm trying to text in between, trying to what's the plan for the night. Okay, I gotta be here. Like I remember when the girl that was talking about being too friendly, when she dumped me and got with this dude at the job. Like I was so depressed, bro. Like that. Like for me, I was so hurt that I was just at anything moving. So like I literally was hitting up my old Jones. I was hitting up chicks from Plenty of Fish. I was hitting up friends that we worked with. There were like I had 7 different girls on my line, bro. Like always trying to meet up. My life was hell back then. It was hectic. Hopping up, making excuses to one girl. No, I gotta go do this thing over. Blah, blah, blah. Go kick it with this other chick. Oh yeah, nah. You know, and she got a nice kid, and he's like looking up to me and fucking. I'm putting him on anime and shit, and I'm sneaking out to go chill with this side bitch, and you know what I mean? Like it was just too much. So for me,
Sounds like a lot.
now I'm like, I just want one person. I just want to just relax and just like the things that I did in my youth. I no longer want anymore, but maybe it would be more easier for me if I just was like that. You know what I mean? Like and just.
Yeah, but I don't think you'd be happy because there's a lot of people who do that. Like, it always is the same for them. Like over time, like when they're in like their 30s, 40s, or even 50s, they're like, man, I should have known that one girl had a family, or I should have done this. So it's like I feel like not saying like that. No. I was just saying that like basically like in the short run, sure it seems fun, but in the long run, it's just like it's kind of a lonely life because like you're just having sex, but it's like you're not really making a bond or connection. Then you look up, no grandkids, no kids. It's like damn, I'm alone.
Yeah. No, and that's how I feel now, nigga.
Yeah.
It sucks. Like I've definitely like I've looked back at like and re-examined some of my past experiences and actions, and I've had to like, in certain situations it wouldn't have mattered. Things wouldn't have went differently. It was gonna always end up that way. But there were certainly some of them where I'm like, damn, did I do enough? Like that girl that I was talking about 5 years ago. The worst part of that situation for me was knowing that like I didn't give it my all. I thought that it was just meant to be. So I just thought when the time was right, she was just gonna end up in my lap and everything was just gonna work out the way God intended it to. Because it was so strong and so passionate. I thought there was no possible way it could be anything but. So like when someone else backdoored me and, you know what I mean, got with her, pause, now I think about it, it sounds kind of gay. But, you know, I couldn't be mad at him because he put the effort. He went back, you know, he did what he did behind my back, but, like, he went and did that. Like, that's what I should have been doing. So, like, I had to sit there for years and just have, like, that bad taste in my mouth of, like, you were a coward. You didn't do. So because you didn't do, that's what you deserved. So like when this situation came about, that was what was sitting in my stomach for so long. It was like, if you don't do nothing, this is like.
But that's part of life too. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Yeah. Now, granted, some shots you probably shouldn't take, but like at the end of the day, it's like you'll never know unless you try.
No, for sure. And somebody always, I want to say it was Bump J, his rapper. He said like. You know, if you shoot, even if you shoot for the moon and miss, you're bound to hit a couple stars.
Yeah.
So, like, that's how I always say. I mean, like, you know, I take everything as a learning experience and a process. So, for me, like, you know, that's why I was, like I said, I was never mad at her for turning me down. Like, that was never the issue. The issue was how did she feel about that? And, like, the 6-hour gap between where I didn't know how she felt about it. And trying and thinking that it wasn't taking it the best way and being like, you know what, let me remove myself from that situation. But like, it's never like I feel like no, I was entitled to that. No, like you know, I don't want like I want to be wanted. I want to be loved and like all that stuff. So like that's something that has to be freely given. It's not something that you can control, can um, force out of people. So for me, like, the way I'm taking it now in stride is just like what where if God closes one door, He opens up another door. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what's meant to be is meant to be, and just keep on pushing, keep going forward, and everything will end up how it's supposed to. Does does it still suck? Yeah. There's times like when I had that dream about her, or for me, I've already done this too many times. Like this ain't like the worst that I've ever had it. 5 years ago was the worst.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like as long as it's never that bad, I will survive. like I'm a roach. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna take a lot to kill me. But yeah, like what I know you said you weren't really trying to get too much into the details of like what happened and whatnot, but was that the worst for you? Like going through all that?
Yeah,
And,
that was the worst for me. I'd probably say.
what helped you get through it?
Honestly, I just took some time to myself. I talked about it with my guys. Well, no, not all of them. I talked about it with two people.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told one of my family members about it because, like, whenever I'm going through something, I always have a bad habit of keeping it to myself and just burying it. And then it's like more stuff get on top of that, and it's just like I explode. So I'm trying to do better at like communicating certain stuff in my life, not everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I just talked about it, and then just had to heal from it. I mean, I was still hurting, and like even when I was healing, I was still trying to like talk to girls, but I was like, nah, this isn't what I need because either I'm going to end up hurting them because I'm not like in it, or like I'm going to hurt myself. Like let me just actually like take time and like heal. So I just took time myself, healed, prayed about it. I just kind of just took a break,
Yeah. I mean, that's dope. I wish I would have been that, like, when I was younger, I was not that mature. For me, like I said, like, sometimes I slept with a lot of women that, like, I really shouldn't have. Just, like, because I was hurt, or, that's why, like, I can accept the things how they are now, because like I deserve that karma. I want to be with somebody that like where like it's so electric that it's just like everybody else. I don't want shit to do with y'all. Like it's just me and you in this world. Like, and let it be like that. And it sucks because like I haven't felt that since like 5 years. You know what I mean? Like, and every time I feel like I'm getting closer to it, like it just kind of collapses. But I think that's a good place to wrap it up, though.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is season 2, episode 2. Here, Jay and Jay Roc. You know what I'm saying? No Charlie. He with us in spirit. You know what I'm saying?
No, don't say that. They're gonna think he's dead. he's just he busy right now with life.
Yeah, that. It's a podcast thing. Like,
Let's say no. They're gonna think he's dead.
But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed the conversation. I know we just freeballed it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really have a set topic list for y'all. We just kind of ended up talking about what we felt. So I hope it was enjoyable for y'all. Anyways, thanks for tuning in.
Ciao. I wonder who was that.
Probably whoever got the room next.
Yeah. It was like a good.